Bob, the interpersonal skills which you describe and talk about and deal with in the book, are they universal?
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting question, because teaching interpersonal skills in a lot of my international training, so many of the participants say to me when we're talking about building relationships, influencing, that this is not somehow international communication, this is just communication. And I think it's true that the skills in communicating internationally in English are very fundamental to human interaction. You know, human interaction is about speaking clearly, listening effectively. It's about establishing a relationship. It's about, in a business situation, taking decisions together. And if you're not agreeing with my idea, it's about influencing you. And if I try to influence, we may have a degree of conflict. And if there's a degree of conflict, as we step away from the meeting and I'm your boss, I might want to give you some feedback about your performance and coach you. So these skills are very much part and parcel of both human interaction and business human interaction. So I think the agenda within communicating internationally in English is highly, highly relevant.
But you've written a book about it, which is fine. So I can imagine some people are asking themselves, isn't it enough to read the book?
Yeah, again, it's a very interesting question, because many of the ideas in the book are not very complex. The need to listen effectively is basically about paying attention, concentrating, clarifying, summarizing, exploring the meaning of the other person. You know, very, very simple things intellectually. The problem with communication is human beings. Human beings are driven fundamentally and very often by self-interest, and they don't communicate well. They push their own agendas, they don't speak clearly, they don't adapt to the person in front of them, they're not interested in listening, they influence by logic rather than by understanding the interests of the other person. So, yes, in a sense, there's nothing complex. It's easy. The problem is human beings don't do it. And so reading the book will not be enough for participants. They will need training. They will need practice. They will need a lot of feedback about where they perform well and where they don't perform well. And after you've taught it once, you're going to need to teach it again and again and again and again. You know, the karate expert that I think I mentioned in the book says that to master a move, you have to practice it 10,000 times. And I think that applies to communication. To listen effectively, you need to practice clarification, summarizing, paraphrasing many, many times before it becomes a habit.